So I go into the gas station, go to fill up, blah, blah, blah. Everything's going good. I'm running a little bit behind. No big deal. Let's do this. The world is going fucking crazy. It looks like there's a fire up here. And there's like... Anyways, who gives a fuck at this point? It's like, this is just the worst fucking traffic. There's like smoke, like in Baghdad. Like a fucking car just got hit by an RPG or something. Anyways, and we're going this slow. So, alright, just chill, dude. Just chill. I go to get a receipt. I don't even know where the fuck I am in this video at this point. I'm so beat from the fucking sun. Earlier today, I go to get the tires, you know, everything's arranged. I go to the gym, but I'm walking and the fucking sun is like Operation Desert Storm. It's like fucking Ethiopia already. It's so fucking hot already. It ain't even June. It ain't even June and I'm fucking like dying. I don't know why this motherfucker is going. There's like one person going 14 miles per hour up there like a fucking idiot. Hi, man. Fuck, it's always something. They're always 100. Stop driving. Your family knows that you're fucking putting people's lives in jeopardy and they're allowing it because they're a bunch of pussies or whatever. But get your fucking old ass parents off the road. There's a time to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And this is it, lady. So I go to get gas. Here's the original story that all 6 of you clicked for. I go to get gas. The thing tells me to go in. All right, Brandon, come down. The thing goes, go inside, see that, okay. You know, it's nice today because now there's like a digital message that tells you, please go inside for receipt. And then it says, fill up with a big gulp. You know what I mean? Like blinking too. So, okay, gotcha. I don't fill up with a big gulp, but I get a double espresso large coffee with a little bit of French vanilla in there. Nothing crazy. Go up, tell them, I'd like to pay for this. Oh yeah, by the way, I need a receipt on number 16. It's like $49 or something. Yeah, no problem. The girl's like, she's like 3'9", and she talks real quiet. She's like, I can't give you, won't let me give you a receipt. And he said, okay. Is there anything you can do? And she goes, and she's just standing there. She's just like, I don't know if she has Asperger's or she's autistic or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't. And I'm going, are you like pressing like a secret button or something for somebody to come? Or are you like hoping like the floor opens and I disappear? And she goes, oh, I don't know. I said, okay. Can you ask one of these other guys that's kind of like floating around that's like my age, maybe like an adult or something, if you can ask one of the adults? She's like, yeah, his receipt isn't doing whatever, it isn't doing the thing. The guy goes, oh yeah, let me see, I'll try to, he goes, oh, I'm gonna go back and just try to find it on the computer. And I go, okay, I'll give you a couple minutes. I go, I appreciate you doing it. You don't really have to do this. I can go take a picture, send it to the office people, but it's cool. He's like, no, I said, all right, well, thanks again. And I'm just standing there with her. Now I'm being awkward and not letting there's like one person or 2 people behind me, but there's 2 other lanes open. So now I'm just kind of acting like I'm, like not leaving. I'm just going to stay with her and be awkward as fuck with her. Do you know what I mean? And I'm kind of teasing her now at this point because I'm kind of thinking in my head after the fucking sunstroke. And I didn't raise my voice. Don't worry, they ain't fucking crazy, okay? Like everybody thinks. I just said, so like during that encounter, we can maybe like use this as a teachable moment. And she's like no response. I go, like while I'm waiting for like the person to whoever you were getting to help you, like you could say, sir, can you hold on? I'll get somebody, or let me find out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And she's like, Yeah, I mean, I just, the computer wasn't doing it. And I go, okay. Okay, well, I'm going to go. Thank you. And then the guy comes out and he's like, yeah, I go, bro, you don't have to look for it. I go, I just, one thing I would recommend when somebody's waiting in line and, we're not at like a fucking fancy, I didn't say this, but in my head I'm like, anybody that comes in here, obviously we're all in a hurry, obviously we're all, but I'm not being rude or pushy, but it's like, I'm in a company vehicle, I'm probably at work, it ain't after 5, you know what I mean? Blah, blah. I don't know, man. People are just so fucking lackadaisical, I don't know what it is about people. They just drive me nuts. The things I seen fucking like 3 instances of road rage and craziness, like before I even got to cash my check in an hour. Ladies like pulling over, like literally just stomping on her fucking brakes in the middle of a fucking like really busy 2-lane, 4-lane road with a median. And then the guy followed her in and he's taking pictures of her car and she fucking spit on him. And I was like, oh, that's like a felony and shit in Florida. You can't spit on somebody, you know what I mean? She spit on him. And they'll fucking take your shit and see if there's DNA on it and video. They will look into that shit, seriously. And I just wanted to say to her, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you're stomping on your brakes, but whatever the fuck it was, that maybe he was following too close. Let's say he was being, so you're going to risk all the lives. And then the lady in the far car behind is like, has a little kid in her car in the back seat, like a newborn. You know what I mean? I've seen her as she's driving away. And it's like, I'm just so glad. I know I say this a lot. I'm so glad I don't have kids, because God knew not to give me fucking kids. You know what I mean? Like, God knew. And thank you. But just the overall like lack of whatever, like people's just it's me, it's like I just see the world kind of in little clips. Then I'm cashing my check, seeing the world in little clips of getting closer and closer to the fucking boiling point. Then I'm at, cashing my check, and the guy comes in behind me, goes into the other line, and he's telling the girl, but I'm overhearing some bullshit. He's like, oh, no, I don't want, blah, 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 I don't want to do all that, blah, blah, I don't want to give you my ID. She's like, all right, well, here. Doesn't say anything. And I said, what did he want? And she said, he was saying he didn't want to, I needed his money. I needed an ID, which is kind of weird for a money order that isn't a lot of money, or what. It's weird anyways. You should never ask somebody for a fucking ID. You know what I mean? But they do at this store, at this money place. And he's like, nah, I ain't doing all that, blah, And I wanted to say, is it because you're a terrorist? Like completely fucking joking around. But I said, he's gonna say something like he's not gonna get my, like, I was gonna just say, I'm just fucking with you, brother, you know what I mean, like completely, just to kind of diffuse the situation. I said, better not, he might be a terrorist, who knows. But had this other situation where I'm knocking on the door of a place, I'm late getting there, they call, make contact, we're on our way, we're there, blah, 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 blah. Door, it's a fucking they're selling the place, so I don't think anybody's there but the realtor. I can't really tell, but I hear people talking in the garage, and I'm knocking on the door, like I'm late, and I'm crazy when I'm late, you know what I mean? Like I hate being late. So, what does this say? Crash ahead, great. I'm looking and I'm like hearing and going, this the whole place sounds like it's fucking empty. You know what I mean? Like it sounds empty. Like it's real, like like echoey and da da da. I said, yeah, this place is probably just the realtor or the appraiser or somebody from the bank or whatever the fuck. So I jiggle the door and it like pushes open, and I don't cross over the threshold or anything. I go, excuse me, pest control, and this kid about 20 years old, comes out of the doorway and goes, oh my God. And I'm like looking around like I thought he was joking. He goes, what are you doing coming in my house? And I go, this is the address 3216 on my company. He's like, yeah, I don't care. What are you doing in my house? And I go, oh, this is what channel we're on right now? I literally, the old me would have just made something up, but I wanted to grab him and throw him right by me and like trip him out the door onto the fucking pavement and just neutralize him, and then go in the house and look for fucking whoever else needed a beating. Then the dad comes out. What the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm just looking at the dude and I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm just going, I would fuck this dude up in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? But that isn't what I'm trying to do today. You know, like I'm not trying to fucking beat this dude's ass. He's, all right, I said, yeah, all right, I said, I'll go. I said, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to make you uncomfortable. I just, you know, we're late. I thought you were the realtor. If you let me explain, I'll get the fuck, you don't come in people's houses. And I said, sir, I thought the house was empty. It's got a for sale thing. There's all kinds of stuff at the curb. It looks like most of the houses I do are empty. And I thought the realtor was meeting me here, and I thought I heard him or he was on the phone, and I just wanted him to know because he was probably waiting. The way you're parked in your driveway, it looks like somebody pulled up in a hurry and is like fucking waiting for the pest control guy, blah, 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 whatever. And I go, but he's like, yeah, I don't care. And then I turned around and said, all right. I said, I'll call the office. I'll let him know. He goes, oh, I'll be calling. No, I said, sir, you're allowed to. I said, sir, you're allowed to. He goes, he's like, this whole thing's on videotape. I go, I really hope it is. So when you tell your version of events and they're going to ask for it at my office, you can present it to them and we'll see what's what. But other than that, I have nothing more to say to you. I presented my case to you. I'm sorry. I've apologized already on your audio file like 15 fucking times. Have a good day. I go to turn around. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I completely, once I told him I was leaving, he fucking was like, you know, like once I wasn't buying his, like once I wasn't feeding into, you know, like that's the one thing, like working as a bouncer at nightclubs, you know, taught me was don't ever meet people's shit with the same level of intensity. You know what I mean? Because there's nowhere to go but up. You know what I mean? And you don't want to start. Somebody's at 7. If you start at 7 or 6 with them, you're gonna have to crank up the fucking volume on the old Marshall amp. So start at like 2, you know, lowering my voice so he has to like hear how absurd his voice sounds. You know, I'm not saying I always execute this every time or that this is like the first time in fucking a long time I've been able to be this behaved, or whatever the word is, but we completely end up like becoming best friends after like 10 minutes. He's like giving me weed. Like, here, take this. I got a whole fucking ounce. Don't worry about it. You want a bottle of vodka to go or anything? I'm like, no. I don't even smoke this, but I'll give it to my neighbor. He's like, really? Here's $20. Here's a tip. I really, you know, he's telling me all about, you know, like, we end up talking. I end up giving him some kratom. He gives me some weed. He gets my cell phone number, and he's apologized. I said, bro, you're allowed to, in the story of my life, do you think I've never been this fucking nuts before? You know what I mean? You don't think that I've ever been as crazy as you were? You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I was fucking crazy, man. He was, I am so like frustrated with, I go, man, we don't even have to talk about it anymore. You're allowed to be, you're the customer. As long as I'm not acting fucking nuts, you can do whatever you want within reason. He's like, yeah, I know. He goes, man, I just told him, listen, we all lose our, you know, it's part of our human nature. We all lose our shit sometime. I'm not even, honestly, I thought it was kind of, you know, like, I understand where you're coming from, because if you've walked in my house on the wrong fucking day, you know, I probably do the same thing. You know what I mean? So I don't not understand, you know. And he's like, yeah, you know, so I mean, I was just telling him, like, bro, I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna fucking, you're not my ex-girlfriend, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking, like, not forgive you, you know? We'll be able to move forward from this. And he's like, yeah, you know, I just did, you know, my mom's sick, I gotta move back to blah, 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 blah. And I said, bro, listen, man, we're good. I don't even want the money or the fucking weed or the whatever. You know, you're cool with me, man. I go, you know, I would never want somebody to judge me on something like this and go, well, that's just, it's not, I know this isn't who you are, and you've been with this company for a minute, and people, you know, I would just know, or they would have gave me a warning telling me, hey, when you deal with this guy, watch out. He goes, okay, good. He's like, as long as they didn't give you a fucking heads up. I said, no, if they gave me a heads up, I would have knocked, and then I would have called from the car.